we live?
We're live.
I cannot hear you though.
You cannot hear me?
No.
Let's see here.
Let me see. I can
How about
barely
now?
hear you.
How about now?
Let me see. Is there like a volume?
It's the multi-volume.
On. Hit that little mic button to see what that does.
Hit the mic button? Okay.
Because I can't hear you.
Okay, I just hit the mic button. I just turned it on and I turned off the mic. Can you hear me?
Barely. All right, bear with us, people. We're doing a split screen for the first time, and we're experiencing slight technical difficulties. Let me see here. What do I do to turn that all the way up?
There
That
we
all the
go.
way up. Go ahead and talk.
Hello, hello. Test, test.
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
What does this do?
There you go.
Oh,
Nice.
hello. Nope, we don't want that one. That zooms in. That's backwards. That's out. There's got to be a way for me to turn this onto the phone here, or the speaker. Let's see.
Oh, okay. Smart Gamer says you could hear the both of us just fine. So Smart Gamer, you can hear the both of us crystal clear, just fine. What's up? What's up, Eagle Liz? Yeah. Got the bobbers in the pond going up, down, up, down, up, down. Yeah, I think he's trying to get his screen adjusted. Let me see if he's messaged me on my other phone. I think he's still working on his end. So today we got a bag of treat for y'all. We're gonna be discussing Charlie's game goal, his game plan, moving forward with how he's gonna go about. Hold on 1 second. Moving forward with how he's gonna go about.
Oh, there you are. Talk. I need to hear you.
Hello, test, test.
Oh, there
1,
we
2,
go.
3.
Now I can hear you.
Okay.
So, what did you do anything different with your volume?
No.
For some reason, now I can hear you perfectly fine. Awesome. We're back in business, people.
There we go. The boys are back in town.
Yeah, it was going to be a shitty stream if I couldn't hear you.
Right.
So, I wanted to get Bob on the stream. As I don't know if, for anybody. What's up, Ego? You got my spirit animal. Smart Gamer. What's up, brother? Runner Boy. Hell yeah. So, as you guys know, Bobby and I used to be training partners. And then we kind of we stopped working together for a small period of time, and now we're kind of bringing the team back together. Anything you want to add?
We're bringing the team back together. Plus, we have a potential prospect in the works. In the form of someone that's going to come and live with me and is going to train with me, and wants to get into powerlifting. So pretty soon he'll be a presence.
So I got in the chat. We got Smart Gamer I agreed to help him train as well. So we're uh, I guess I have a trainee. Um, so we kind of like potentially have the makings of a team. So one of my goals, I was going to roll out memberships, and one of the perks was I wanted to create an IPL powerlifting team, and like you could compete anywhere in the country as long as one or more of your teammates shows up. So it wouldn't like, I mean, you could represent a team at any meet, but you wouldn't compete as a team unless more than one teammate was there. But like if it happened to get big enough where I had, 10, we'll say 10 teammates, and I got a handful of them to compete at like worlds or nationals where we would all meet up, that could be a really cool thing. Um, it's easy to create, but it's logistically is where I would struggle with it. And I would have a hard time trying to do that by myself. So you got Smart Gamer 999 is we're working together. He asked me to help him train. And then you have a trainee. Um, and I wanted to, since I got Smart Gamer in the chat, I wanted to let you know that Bob is one of the resources that I go to for a lot of technical things. And if you're working with me, you're going to be inadvertently working with him as well, because I go to him for pretty much anything that's programming. I don't always listen to you, but
But still, you get a more dynamic scenario, and you're able to go the more purposeful route with your training.
do you want me to give everybody like the PG version of what happened, like like just a kind of a rundown of like how we met, why we split up, and why we're getting back together, without going into like
Sure,
unnecessary details?
sure. But I just want to say real quick to Smart Gamer, if you have any questions related to training or whatever, feel free to post them. We'll be sure to get around to them. Any training related questions? But go ahead, yeah, sure. Go ahead and give a recap.
Okay, so just like you, Smart Gamer, when I first met Bob, I was doing super high volume. Um, I think that's about the time I was starting to decline naturally from testosterone levels. And we talking to the doctor, actually going back in time, not to get on a tangent, but he said that one of the reasons why I could have had low T was because of the amount of volume I was pushing. He said that, without getting proper recovery, and then with the work I do and the diet I had, he said, they put me on testosterone, but they never really treated or looked into the reason that I had low testosterone. They just said, "Hey, you're 45. Here's some tests." They never really looked at like my habits or my sleep, or they didn't try to cure anything. They just gave me testosterone. But regardless, when I met Bob, I was basically beating myself into submission. I was not making any gains. I had respectable numbers. I was a national records holder as a natural lifter, but my numbers were declining. And Bob reluctantly convinced me to try HIT style lifting. So I went from high volume to super low volume, super high intensity. Correct, and jump in here at any time if you want to correct me. So when I met him, I had roughly an upper 1400, low 1500 total. And in 3 years, we put 300 pounds on that total. I never got 1700 in competition, but that's not because I couldn't do 1700 pounds. That's because I blew my third attempts. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
if we were to take your peak training numbers, you would exceed the 1700 threshold by far.
yeah, yeah. If I would have gotten all those third attempts, I would have far exceeded. I would have been mid 1700s. So the
Yeah.
capacity, the potential is there.
Yeah.
And whether you, so for somebody that's 45, 46 years old, putting 300 pounds on your total, especially in my weight class, 220, I might have been 198 when we met. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look.
You're
Is
198.
unheard of. And whether you're on drugs or not, older guys just don't do that. So I made incredible progress with Bob. And the whole time the internet talked shit about it. And then to keep the story short, I kind of ran into a wall. So I started plateauing. And you and I had a little bit of a falling out. We'll say we disagreed on how to progress. And I decided I was going to prove you wrong by doing that Candido 6-week smash and grab boot camp style training program, and it worked. That first time it worked, man. I PR'd all 3 lifts. I had an excellent meet. The only reason why I bombed some of my lifts is because of the water cut. That water cut I did was insane, and it hurt me a little bit. But as far as like my lifts, man, um, but then I kept doing that same program, and I think for a guy that's close, that's my age, that program is way too intense. So I got away with it the first time, and the second 2 times it hurt me both times, and then this time I think it got me, it got my bicep. Um, it's just way too hard. I mean, that's for anybody that's never done a boot camp style program where you're forced to produce your maximum output. I think everybody should do that once if they're, especially if you're younger and a power lifter. You don't necessarily have to do the Candido, but something really similar. I think it's really good just to push yourself to see if you have it in you. But it's not something that you should be doing regularly. Like I think the one time was good.
Yeah, I would piggyback on that and say it's buyer beware. You know, a high
Yeah.
risk, high reward type of thing. So
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
do your due diligence. Make sure you're willing to accept the risk.
Yeah. It's kind of like doing like Bulgarian. You're absolutely pushing the boundaries and forcing yourself to go past where you thought you could go, but it comes at a seriously high risk of injury, especially if you're not recovering properly, hydrating properly. PEDs, you can factor that into it. Tendon health. If you get super strong, super fast, did your tendons catch up with that? You know, so there's a lot to consider.
On a side note, I wish later I want to dive into the bulletproofing exercises, a comprehensive outline or list of bulletproofing exercises for what might help people their neck, the
Yeah.
rhomboid, the shoulder, whatever, their
Well,
knee.
and then so that kind of brings us to where we're at now. So Bob and I have been, even though we haven't officially been working together since we split up, I've been talking to you the whole time,
Right.
and we've been kind of collaborating in the background. And um, but now I'm kind of making it official. What I discussed with you is I just did the Candido 6-week program for my 3rd time, and I killed it. I fucking murdered that program, and I was going to go into this meet the strongest I've ever been in my life at 50 years old. But I injured myself. So now what we're discussing is like how do you get the best of both worlds? One of the things I really didn't focus on um, was tendon health, bulletproofing exercises. I was doing a lot of them, especially for my hips and my legs and the lower body, but I wasn't doing a lot for the upper body, and I certainly wasn't doing any for the biceps. What's up, Freshly Wild? What's up, brother? Good night, runner boy. So yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier today, and it was a good conversation. And I thought, we should do this on a live stream. What were we talking about? We were talking about.
Well, like essentially, everybody focuses on increasing the weight, lowering the reps, right? Going heavy. Um, but nobody really focuses on the opposite. How do you achieve similar or same effect, right? Or varying results to that degree with less weight by going the opposite direction, by going with time under tension. And so we were like, okay, so this is a perfect opportunity for live stream and for y'all, the viewers, to chime in and give some ideas and potentially pick some of what we're going to devise here and prototype, which is what we call sequences, which sequences basically when you do a combination or one sequence to the next of full reps, partials, static holds, tempo, you name it, you name it, you name it. Fast eccentric, slow concentric, whatever. Um, Here he's gonna experiment with lightweight, and we're gonna go for
Yeah.
we're gonna
Well, so essentially,
on.
the crux of the problem is this. As you can see, I got a little tiny bicep right here, and I got a reasonably big one here. It's starting to shrink a little. I can't do any upper body exercises because if I bench press, I have the eccentric. I can't do resistance training on this bicep yet. I'm allowed to do isometrics according to my doctor. Now, I've been doing lightweight, slow, time under tension, curls, things of that nature. And but essentially what I want to try to do is figure out how the hell can I train my upper body without using this bicep until the doctor clears me to do so. And, I don't want to lose everything. My shoulders are shrinking. My chest is getting smaller. You know, my wife was gracious enough to say that I'm smoking crack. I still look fine, but we all know I'm shrinking. And I've been doing squats every day. That probably helps a little because I'm going to look like a fiddler crab. I'm going to have one giant arm and one little one. And I'm going to have like huge quads. And people are going to look at me and be like, what the hell is this? What am I looking at?
Well,
Plus,
I have an idea for the left arm for an exercise. But it's gonna be later on. It's gonna be when we do the bulletproofing exercises.
well, the one I had immediately that I know I can do is our good old friend occlusion training.
Oh,
I have
now
a
I remember. It's a nerve glide. So like with your other arm, your right arm, not your left arm.
Yeah.
Can you go like this? Can't bring one hand. Here, let me bring this out. Bring one hand like this and this hand. So go like this and go like that, and slide. Bring your arm in and out.
Yeah.
There you go. No, but like put your hand by your palm. There you go.
Okay.
Push that way. And with this hand,
So
push this
I'm
way.
pushing against my
Yes.
on
You're
the
pushing,
inside or the outside.
and then you're just gonna put it through its range of motion.
Oh yeah. So that's not too dissimilar to what they kind of have me doing with isometrics. And then
Okay, then push him more out. Like try and bend the elbow. Like see, like I just got my elbow right now.
see, I got to be careful because I'm not allowed. I have to really watch the amount of resistance I put on it, and you can actually
Okay.
feel how delicate it is. So I just got to be. So are you talking about supinating or pronating?
So push out with your other arm. There you go. Yes, just like that. Yes, while pushing out. Yes. Now yes. Now do you feel any scraping? Do you feel any type of you feel scraping?
No,
Okay.
no scraping, but I can tell that the connection is still
Tender.
not fully formed. It feels,
Got
yeah, it feels tender. Like
got
it
it.
feels like if I were to, let's say, just pick up a bar and start curling it, it just feels like it would pop right off.
Ah, yes. So
And that
like
that
just
makes sense. So where I'm
yeah.
at, according to the schedule, the surgeon schedule, at 6 weeks you do isometrics. I'm about 2 weeks ahead of the surgeon's schedule. I mean, I did those peptides, and I started training on my own using lightweight. Like I would do like the full range of motion, just really slow. Just kind of coming through and stretching the arm out, and then I kind of lived in that neutral grip range.
And now, what do you feel when you go like this? Are you able to touch the back of your shoulder? Are you able to
Um,
bring? Okay.
um, not
I
quite, but it's about. I have about the same range of motion on this side, so I'm a little better, but it's not too far off. And
yeah,
then as
that
far as like pronating and supinating, and then when they did the grip strength test, I actually, believe it or not, I was a couple foot-pounds stronger on this hand than I was on my healthy one.
so it lets us know that it was just literally the tendon that just needed the bulletproof, and everything else was
Yeah.
actually on par.
Yeah, essentially. So essentially, what the doctor said is until the tendon fuses 100% with the bone and completely heals, it's still, even though they. So what they do is they take the tendon and they sew a weave around it, and it's got like a little pin, and they drill a hole the size of the pin, and they push the pin in, and then they turn it, and then here's the string, so this pin gets pushed up against the bone and locked in. That pin is not going anywhere, but the part that's not strong is that weave that's around the tendon. So the bone will fuse to that. And once it's completely healed, the doctor says it should be stronger than the original connection point. But until that's completely healed up, it basically runs the risk of just, pulling uh,
Yeah.
the threads out.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to show you that simple nerve like that simple joint floss where you just go like this,
Yeah,
and
no, that I start doing that. So, because what they have me doing is uh, I actually have a prescribed list of exercises, and these change week to week. But basically, um, with a red or green band, something I'm just I can as long as I keep my arm flat, like lock it against the knee. This
ah,
stuff out here. That is. I can't turn the sound off. Dude, my phone downloaded a new operating system and I don't know how to use it. All right. Okay, so anyway, the first exercise is you lock it in and you're doing your forearm movements without using the biceps, so that you gotta lock your wrist in.
okay. So like
Sometimes
this.
you use the blue band. The red's a little bit heavy. And then what's the other one? Oh, the other one's basically the opposite. So
Nice.
we're strengthening the forearm without using the bicep. And
Yeah.
then the next one is isometric holds, where I just find something stable and I push as hard as I can for the tricep. You see, like, it really. But I said to the doctor, I said, so my ability to generate force doing isometrics is probably about 4 or 5 times more than the average patient. So I said, if I can push that much and I can generate that much force, why can't I do lightweight bench pressing? He said, because the eccentric could hurt the bicep. So that's where I was talking to you this morning. And, we were tossing up ideas as to like what would be reasonably safe. And, I mean, you suggested, just starting with the barbell.
Or with those 5 pound, 10 pound little dumbbells that you have, those little aerobic type ones that you have. Start with like a 2.5. Let's see what a 2.5 does from a stretched either profit curl, Dr. Idiot curl, or incline curl.
Let me see here. I have that 1 inch barbell that weighs 20 pounds somewhere. So what were you talking about?
I was talking about using a those. Don't you have some of those aerobic dumbbells? They're like 2.5, 5 pounds, 10 pounds.
Yeah.
I know those are.
And
I know those are reasonably small in weight, but because we're gonna try an incline curl and see how the bicep feels with a slight stretch to it.
so
You have like a 2.5 pound weight to start with.
so how much of an angle?
30. Yep,
Like
about that. Yep, that's a good angle.
that?
Yes.
And we're doing this with a barbell?
No, but just like you have a 2.5 pound weight. It could be like
just a plate.
yeah, a plate or something like that, or a plate or a dumbbell. Yeah. And just see how it feels, and just put it in the stretch position, just slowly, and
Oh,
see how.
smart gamer. This is what I was talking to you about earlier. This is exactly the curl I was talking to you about. So basically, we're going to lean back and we're going to stretch the arm out, right?
Yes.
So are we pronated or supinated?
Pronated, and then curl just lightly.
Like that?
Yeah, and then try supinated. How does it feel on the tendon?
Well, at this weight, it's fine.
Okay. All right.
I actually think I should probably put the angle back a little bit more.
Okay. But do you feel some tenderness?
No.
Okay.
Well, so there's no pain. It just feels like it's hard to describe. It feels like it's fragile.
Okay. So let's just stick with this 2.5 pound, because we're going for the therapeutic effect here, not necessarily anything. Hello, hi, Mrs. Gen X Power. Mrs. Gen X Power just hopped into the chat. She's yes. Now let's try some sequences. So like maybe some holds, maybe some static holds, partial reps. Maybe experiment with some outward rotation or whatever. Or yeah. So here we're going
Whatever
for
I'm going to do, I'm going to do it really slowly.
yeah. Here we're going for the time under tension that we were talking
I
about
want
earlier.
to stretch at the bottom.
Yeah.
You know what's weird?
What's that?
It doesn't feel heavy, but I can feel the muscle fatiguing.
Uh-huh. It reminds me of when I was in boot camp. Our RDCs, right, which is our drill instructors for the Navy, they would have us hold our arms up and click pens. And like a pen isn't heavy, but after 15 minutes of holding your arms up and clicking it, you're gonna be tired. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But now the
you're gonna be
question
fatigued.
is that effective for hypertrophy?
So more than likely not. But remember, we're going for the therapeutic effect here of the bulletproofing of the joints of the soft tissues. When it's time to lift heavy, we're not worried. You'll lift the heavy, right? That we're not concerned about. But it's about getting the joints conditioned along with the
I'm just
muscle.
going to 20 pounds on the other side.
What is that?
Just to get a feel for it, you know?
Yeah. What do you have there? Oh, for the right side, yeah.
I do love the stretch.
Now, on the right side, you could probably progress the right side to like a prophet curl or the Dr. Idiot curl. the Praga curl in particular is an all deep stretch bicep one.
No, I'd have to watch his video. I forgot how it is.
He does it lying flat, and then he just goes out like that.
Oh yeah, that's right. And that's what I'm
Or
going for, the complete stretch. Like I'm letting the arms stretch out completely.
yeah. There we go. That's what we need more of. That's how we're gonna bulletproof that bicep tendon, and then in time we'll get the left to be just as strong, like you said. Once everything is set in place, it won't be the weakest link. It'll be somewhere else.
I bet you this will help with tendonitis too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You
Oh
know how
yeah.
my arms were hurting when I was under the squat bar?
Yeah, so this should help with shoulders too, with the shoulder, with any shoulder pain or shoulder tightness.
I was trying to tell Smart Gamer that the connection point for the biceps actually goes into the labrum on the shoulder.
Smart Gamer just chimed in. He said, "What I missed?" Actually, Smart Gamer, you just missed. Gen X Power demonstrated the what is it? Incline curl. The
Yeah,
incline curl.
with actual appropriate weight. I'll do it again here in a minute. I did the other arm. I'm actually going to put another 10 pounds on it. 20 was too light.
Okay.
Stereotype don't show nothing about fashion. Let's see, what we got here? Tax, insurance, and accessories. Oh yeah, scientists, the middle of glasses broken nerds. Life is just like movies. Delusion. Uh, oh, he's bagging on you. He's saying you're giving science advice and your glasses aren't straight. I mean, you could
Oh,
do better than that, my buddy. Like you could say, like he's got a smile like a fucking jack-o'-lantern. He looks like Phil Collins if Phil Collins was a rapist. Let me see here. Like, come on, come up with some good shit. I don't know what to say to that. Your glasses aren't straight, so you should shut the fuck up.
they broke. They broke while I was lifting. I accidentally got
Uh,
the.
Scientists, middle of glasses broken nerds. Life is just like the movies. Oh, so he thinks you don't. He thinks you don't lift. He's looking at you and he's saying, "Look at this motherfucker talking shit." Like he doesn't. He thinks
lift,
he.
bro.
Oh man, he's what That's what I call contempt prior to investigation. Hey, baby. Well, I would say, the only thing he probably lifts is his sister, because that's who he's dating. That's not a good one. I gotta come up with something better than that. What we got here? Freshly wild. I missed your. Let's see. Machines aren't good for regular functioning adults, but with your injury, you can still. No, machines have their place, buddy. I mean, I think machines can be really useful. I'm going to set up a Smith machine, which if you would have told me a year ago, I would have fucking laughed at you. I would fucking Smith machine. But now I honestly think that a Smith machine is an asset if you utilize it correctly. There's so much you can do with it. So Smart Gamer's asking about machines that he mentioned to me. Oh man, you have to remind me. Which ones did you use? I know you were talking about what machines were you talking about? Refresh my memory. Yeah, my wife Christina, she almost exclusively uses machines, and I got to be honest with you, when she does the what do they call that?
Adductor. The adductor.
I enjoy watching her exercise. Uh, yeah, Bob looks good.
Thank you. So, how does the How does the left arm feel? Oh, so so now do you remember the bulletproofing exercise for the elbow? For
Um,
this one, you can get
refresh
a
my
20
memory.
pound
I'm gonna go up
dumbbell.
to 5 pounds.
Okay, okay.
Which one?
The overhead tricep extension. That one you can't use the 20-pound barbell. Okay, let's see how this.
I'm gonna start with a neutral grip.
Okay. Yeah, play it however you feel is best.
So leaning into it kind of stretches the arm out. So like the second, if anything hurts at all, I'm just gonna drop the weight.
Right. Absolutely.
And well, another upside to using a plate is it really helps your grip. I suppose dumbbells are more ideal, but using plates, you get really strong fingers. Now, supination is where it's the most dangerous. Or
Nice. That was a nice one.
I'm not being really careful.
Yeah.
If anybody's just sitting on the shitter and scrolling through, they're probably like, "What the fuck am I looking at?"
We're looking at progress.
And I'd say, "You're looking at the best part of your goddamn day." Yeah, so far so good. And I have constant tension on this because I have where it's locked out. It still has resistance on it. It's not neutral because I have the arm slightly lifted, so
Right.
it's locked out at an angle.
Right. So you're working the angle more. You're getting more of a deeper stretch out of it than normal.
Like I guess you could game this lift and like come up and then like start sitting into it and then like go full range of motion with gravity.
There you go. Hold the top one. Hold it right there for just a bit. But if it cramps up, don't let go. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Now extend it out slowly. And then after this one, hold it at the bottom for a bit. Try and get a bit of a stretched hold.
Did I just make a new curl?
Yeah.
We're
This is
calling this Charlie curls.
this
Fucking
is
patent.
this is like a 180, like a 270-degree curl.
Hey,
Because
make sure you get this. Make sure you record this on a short so we get it before anyone else does. I'm going to bring it up to where it has constant tension through the entire range of motion, and I'll go full range of motion with it, holding it at the top for what do you call it?
static hold, a pause hold.
Yeah. And we're going to release it, maintaining constant tension throughout the entire length of motion with a deep stretch at the bottom.
Ooh, you can see it. It's activated.
Because right about here is where you start to lose tension on the lift. So if I move it forward, I now have gravity. Bring it up, it starts to lose tension right about here. If I bring it forward, I've got gravity on it. And my arm is burning. Deep stretch.
There you go.
Now we'll
Now,
try it with this one.
on the other side.
I should make a dumbbell for this arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me make a dumbbell. Just because the way the way the weight is distributed,
Yeah.
it loses some of its effectiveness at the top.
So we got Patrick Glinsky. He says, haven't been on the stream in a while. Nice to see the cast off the arm. What are we up to right now? Just trained. Nice, Patrick. Nice that you just trained. Smart Gamer says 2% abdominal work too. Laugh out loud.
Hell yeah. What's up, Patrick? We're gonna need some power raises.
Oh, we got Profit Fear. Speaking of, we just did some.
I think I made a new lift, man. Like, you tell me. So I can only lift with like 5 pounds, right? So we started with, the arm locked up, fully extended. And it come up, it starts to lose tension right about here. So I sit up with it until gravity takes a hold. And then as I come forward, complete the range of motion. So I never lose tension. And then I just go back down all the way through the range of motion. I'm gonna try it on the other arm with a little weight on it.
Yeah, dude, you can tell those look good and effective. I can tell the burn is definitely there.
That's 30 pounds right there. We'll start with that.
We're gonna dive in the devices, the band. We're gonna go for the band. Get to the band.
Good job.
Let's see here. Prophet Fear says we're gonna need some power raises. Dion says when he lies down on his back, he's looking like a decomposed. Okay, whatever. And then Prophet Fear says that's an interesting way to change the resistance curve.
Wait. I look like your mom, Dion? Holy shit. She's a pretty woman, huh? Hey, oh man. Gonna take off any second now. Man's about to levitate. I don't know what to do with that. It's almost good trolling, but you work on it.
Here's the hair off. Echo Lego is here. Oh, he's still here. In here.
All right. Wait, what's up?
Ego live daily.
My spirit animal.
Ego, yeah. Everyone's ego lives spirit animal.
Georgie, what's up? My name has always rang bells here on YouTube and abroad. Georgie's the man. Yeah, Prophet Fear, we were literally just talking about you before I did this lift. And I asked Bob, I said, did I fucking just invent something? Like, I said, you gotta record it before Prophet Fear sees it. I want to have a lift that he doesn't have in his arsenal. But it actually has to be useful, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna actually go down farther because this is fully stretched for me.
And how does it feel? Does it feel good?
This is 30 pounds on the bar. I can see this being a little clunky though when it gets heavy, but we're doing this for therapy purposes.
Heck yeah, Ego says laughing my ass off at those comebacks from Charlie, and then he says Bob Yo physical therapy sesh 100. Heck yeah. I call Ego live daily Ego.
I'll tell you what, it does work the whole arm range of motion.
No, I bet the burn is probably compounding right now, like a runaway train.
Whew.
Dude, in every setback, there is an opportunity. You're gonna come back far stronger than before because now we're not gonna leave any stone unturned with the bulletproofing. We're not gonna leave any joint, any ligament, any tendon. Anything.
Remind me again, what are Powell raises? Bob, do you know?
No, I don't know. No, I don't know.
I know it's a stupid question because
I don't know what behind the back
I'm just
lateral
gonna go to his page and do a search. Why can't I go to your page?
raise is coming across the body on a bench.
Well, right, but I wanted to see a demonstration of it. Why can't I go to your page anymore? The fuck, man? Well, here, we'll just do this. Don't tell Prophet Fear this, but he's actually a managing moderator. Let's see. Here. All right, so now we're going to do a search for Powell raises. Powell raises? Raises. Here we go. Full range of motion. Okay, so it goes all the way across, and then you roll into it. Okay, I think I can do this. Give it a run. I'm going to start with 2.5 pounds for safety.
Makes sense.
Ow. So,
Yikes.
um, so you came across the body like this, right? Right. You roll into it like that. Is that right? And then how far do you go up? I feel like I'm doing this wrong. Let me look at it again. I had the same problem when I'm learning the drums. I like watch a video, go to my drum set, and like completely forget what I just looked at. All the way
Obviously,
down,
go
all the
there.
way up, all the way down. Is he bending his arm across his body? Okay. So it's
He says, don't forget to protract.
like that.
I think he means protract your scapula or something.
Oh, like this.
I think so. I'm not. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's gonna clarify in a bit, but I think so. He says, yeah, it could go lower too. Yeah, protract and retract. He wants you to protract and retract.
Oh. Yeah, it's a good thing I started with 2.5 pounds.
Is that? Oh, that's the bicep. Oh, okay. So it's a good thing you started with 2.5 pounds.
Yeah. I'll have to practice these. I could see. I really like the
Some
way that.
transferability. Okay.
So I'm stretching the back and the shoulder past this way.
He
I'm
says towards
guessing
the
that,
he says towards the
and
hip, the side
then
delt,
squeezing them together at the top. Is that right?
He says towards the hip for side delt, towards the side for rear delt.
Wait, say again.
Towards the hip for side delt, towards the side for rear delt.
Okay. Watch the video here again. Turns his head. Oh, he's holding the. Okay, let's try it. Holy shit, you doing that with 45 fucking pounds? You know, people talk so much shit about Prophet being not strong. And it's like, yeah, you know, he doesn't really do the compound lifts for powerlifting, but like some of those movements you do, I couldn't do it with the weight you work out with. Like, I mean, maybe I could. I don't know. I haven't tried, but that seems like it would be a lot. Like I'm about to do with 30 pounds. Now, granted, I haven't worked out in a few weeks, but I doubt I've lost that much strength. 30 pounds is not a weight I'd be afraid of, but it's not like it's enough where if I've never done a movement before. Whoa, hello.
Where do you feel it?
My shoulders. I like the stretch here.
Nice.
But then it's like, ah! Dude, I dig this shit. I like this a lot. Like, this is gonna make my pip hand strong. Shut up, woman.
It will.
Where's my money?
So you know, segueing over to shoulder health, this is a good one for the shoulder. You know, I just got into stretches like this to get my toe bend on my shoulder by bringing my arm cross body. So, which is kind of a similar thing, except that's a dynamic version of it with weight. But something to put in the tool bag. One thing I was gonna say is, do you think you want to do a handsome press or behind the neck handsome press to or is that too much on the bicep? With a broom. Do you have a broom?
Yeah, I do.
But this one, it goes slow.
Give me a second, y'all. Let me see.
He said to ask you how your traps felt.
Huh?
He's Prophet Fear said to ask you how your traps felt. He said it's not that isolated.
So, and it could be because I'm not doing them 100% correctly, but where I was really feeling it, besides, you know, you got your nice stretch in the bicep. When I was coming up, I was really feeling it in the rear delt and a little bit of the lats. So, yeah, I guess the traps too, huh?
I mean, I could picture it opening up the shoulders a bit. So I think something like that would go well with something like a handsome press.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely could do more weight, but I would want to get the form down.
Understandable. Okay, here we go with a handsome press. So he's being real careful with his bicep. Oh wow, he actually cleared it. Okay, all the way up. How does that feel on your elbow and shoulder?
Let me try it with this 20-pound.
Okay, but just
not this if it's too heavy.
yeah, just be real careful.
Let's do this. Is there any reason I can't? Can I do these seated, or does it matter?
The handsome press? No, it doesn't matter.
Bob, give me a second. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick.
Okay.
We like to party. You cause trouble with other buddies.
So Smart Gamer, how's your training going? What kind of training are you doing? Like three like a three split a week routine, like a chest Monday, squat Wednesday, deadlift Friday, or something like that.
Who did you ask who's how their training's going?
Smart Gamer, because remember he said he's working with you, so I asked him like, what kind of training is he doing with you?
So he failed the first mission. The first mission was to gather information. He had a couple of obstacles that popped up and he couldn't train today. So what I wanted him to do today was I wanted him to video uh, the compound lifts he's doing with at least 50% of his 1 rep max so I can get a look at his form with a little bit of weight on it. And then we were going to determine. I mean, I don't want to speak for him, but I don't know if it's easier because you got to type all this shit.
Type it all, yeah, that makes sense.
But talking to him, the sense I get is he is hesitant to give up his old way of training, which is volume and doing push-pull splits. Kind of like I was when we first started training together. When you told me, give me 6 weeks or whatever, try it my way, and I was like, I don't know, man. I just didn't see it. Like I just couldn't give up my my max lifts. Like I had to do them.
Oh, and the same thing happened with Shantar. Remember when you were training Shantar?
Mm-hmm.
He was hesitant to give it, but then when you do give it up and you do just give in to not like somebody that knows better and try it, you'll see for yourself that you'll flourish. Now, as Charlie and I discovered, the gains, although you will mimic like an infinite growth curve right on a chart, don't last forever. Eventually, it starts to taper off, and so that's why it becomes imperative to switch and alternate between training styles routinely and to vary things up.
Well, we had one thing going for me that Shantar, and I don't know about Smart Gamer yet, but especially Shantar didn't have going for him, and that I was so overtrained that just reducing any volume and allowing myself to recover immediately pushed past all the plateaus. So, and then I also started doing research. I read your book. I started digging into Mike Menser. I looked at Arthur Jones. I looked, you pointed me to all those. I read all that stuff. And I was looking at who's the guy that won Olympia? Big dude. Dorian Yates. And he really didn't train the way Menser did, but he did incorporate some of the principles. And I knew what you were saying was true, but for me, it wasn't that I thought you were wrong. It was giving up a security blanket. We get attached to a certain way of doing things, and surrendering that to somebody where even if you know they're right, it can be difficult. It's a really hard thing to give up. So, what I tell guys is like, look, man, just jump in. Forget about it. You're young enough that you literally have nothing to lose. You could do it my way for a whole year, and if you don't like it, you can go back the way you trained. But you don't even need that long. Give me 6 weeks. I'll know if it's working within 4 weeks. And a lot of that, what you ran into with me is your programming was good, your numbers were good, but I was cheating on you. On off days, I would do things and not tell you about it. and then upload shorts of me hitting big weights. And then I would even lie to you. You were like, "Hey, why did you do that lift?" I'm like, "Oh, that video is like 3 weeks old. Hey,
Yeah.
that's from way before, you know." And like, dude, I was fucking the program up. I just what was it that one day I was doing T-bar rows, and I had so many plates on there that it catapulted the anchor and hit me in the nuts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's normal.
And then like I wasn't even rowing. I wasn't even rowing them. I was just like it was like a test of human, just raw visceral strength to even just get it off the floor and move it. And it's not even training at that point. It's just me just trying to prove that I can move something. Uh, it, um, Bob would get so mad. Uh, he would get so mad. Uh, you know what it was when the day I decided to 100% um, give myself to your training and just say I'm just going to go with it was the day I broke 600 pounds on the deadlift.
I remember that. It was the day after.
So
Yeah.
day one,
Yeah.
I attempted 600 and I couldn't do it. I got 585 and it burned my ass all night. I thought about it. And the next day, the day after, like who does that? Who PRs 2 days in a row? But I was on a fucking mission. And I remember you were like, what can I say? This guy's just going to do what he wants to do. And then, but afterwards we had a conversation. I don't know if you remember it. And I said something along the lines of like, I needed to do that. I had to do that. Like I just had to prove that I could do it. And now that I've done it, we can do things your way. And some smart gamer, something to consider. One thing that Bob did for me is he actually wrote my ego lifting into my program, so we had it programmed into it.
Once a week, he maxed out on one lift. Once a week, just one lift, and we rotated. Remember, it was like 3, 6, 9 reps, 3 reps 1 week, and then 6 reps next week, 9 reps, and then 1 rep max the 4th week, and it was all.
But it was always like 95%. It was never like 100. You know, there was always still some left in the tank. It wasn't like a third attempt at a powerlifting meet.
Or just, yeah, at least you tried to hit the projected max. If you hit the projected max, then you gauged it from there, played it by ear if you wanted to go for a higher attempt or just call it good at that PR. And when the PRs come in, dude, the PRs come in.
Oh, yeah, regularly, every week almost for a while there.
Yeah, routinely. You're able to predict them.
If this feels uncomfortable at all, I'm just going to drop it.
Okay, so here we have a 20-pound or a 25-pound, I believe, 22-pound barbell that he's going to do a handsome press with. Oh, wow.
I think, let me adjust it a little. I'm stopping if it feels uncomfortable, so if I don't go the full range of motion. So this is super heavy right now.
Okay. Now, okay, so Prophet says something interesting. He said it's easy to make progress on 4 to 8 sets a week if the sets are hard and the exercises are halfway decent. So basically, there's many ways to skin a cat. Is what he's saying there, and it is the essence of like how his method works, our method works. But what we're going for here is we're just gonna go period.
Yeah, and actually, I'm glad you're in on this conversation because we were talking about that. The reason why I wanted Bob to do the stream with me is because we had talked about how I revolted against his training, and and then I did the Candido 6 week and I crushed it, killed it. But then the second 2 times I did the Candido, I hurt myself, so it was like too much for me. And this whole time, Bob and I have been kind of talking in the background, and the same thing. I've been collaborating with all you guys, and kind of the conclusion we came to is block periodization. Essentially, you know, There's a time and place for high volume. There's a time and place for HIT. There's a time and place for conditioning. You know, is it anything new? I think the only thing that we bring to the table isn't that we're doing anything new. I think it's more optimization for somebody who works full time, can't be in the gym all day, wants to actually make progress, but can't put lifting before other priorities. So it's like, and I've always told guys, like, is my way the best way to do things? No. But if you're working 12 hours a day on a construction site and you've got little kids at home, my way will get you stronger without you having to be in the gym for 2 hours. You know, what we were saying, I could literally do my working sets and get what I need done in 15 minutes. Bare minimum, if I just did the working sets.
Right.
You know, and I'm not gonna, is it gonna be the best for physique training? No. But it will increase my 1 rep max provided I hit the projected numbers. And that was the other thing we were doing, is if we ran out of time to finish a program or a training session, we would pick it up later. We'd literally overlap it, finish it later, either later in the day or the next day on a recovery day.
Yep.
Things like that. I mean, I wanted to get Bob online because I sort of, and I want you to speak for yourself, but I wanted to dispel some of the, over the last few years, the rumors that all we do is one set to failure. And that's what we were doing for a long time. But, we've also forgot about your awesome forever sequence, which is like, in my opinion, the best way to deload that I've ever come across. I can't say it's the best thing ever, but it's the best thing I've done, because it's the only way I've ever done a deload and still made progress.
Yeah, deloads are tricky for that reason. Is people usually just take the lesser of evils. Is that they disregard of some gains for that week, and that they'll make more gains the future weeks, the following weeks. But with the forever sequence and with other sequences that we're going to devise here and experiment and prototype out, that you're gonna that hopefully you do on a whim and you just start making up your own sequences as you see fit, right?
Yeah,
Just
I'm
but,
glad that Shantar did defy me. I'm actually glad you're here, Prophet. If you want to be like Tom Haviland, you better be 6'7" and have good genetics. What are we talking about? Want to be able to join my circuit freak show as well. Yeah. You need to make progress on the 4-8 sets a week if the sets are hard and the exercises are halfway decent. Yes, 100% agree. Tom Havlin does work out on a regular gym, but one of the things I just remembered is he was focused. Oh, you're talking about your how you like to do those crazy Tom Havlin lifts. And this smart gamer I'm talking to,
all right, I know
he was saying he does like just crazy like circus deadlifts and stuff. But what I was suggesting to him, I said, yeah, that he does that for social media, but I would say 80% of his training is still traditional, strength training,
barbell, regular,
progressive overload.
right.
But it's like Bugenhagen, Eric Bugenhagen. He does like those crazy like behind the back deadlifts, split leg deadlifts. He does those freak show rack pulls with like or just really dumb lifts that really, they're fun. But people get the idea like that's all he does, and I would say like 90% of his training is the same thing we all do. What's up, baby girl?
Hi, trying to see what's going on. Hi.
We talking. So let's see, where are we at here? I wanted to catch up with Prophet. Maybe it's something we should look into. Powerlifting training promotes overdoing it for the marginal gains. Yeah, so Prophet Fear is no fan of powerlifting, and he's never made it a secret to me. And honestly, I don't disagree with him on any of his points, except for one. If you're a powerlifter, it's like saying like, race cars are stupid because you can only go fast on a track. And I'm like, but I drive on a track, right? You know what I mean? Like I am a power lifter. So those dumb lifts that are retarded for 99.9% of everybody else, and I would totally agree with you. Smart Gamer and I had this conversation. I said the only difference between your programming and mine is I would do block periodization where I'd have a conditioning block, a hypertrophy block, basically the training block, and then a peaking block, which is like a heavyweight acclimation, and then getting your lifts lined out where you dial it down to 3 lifts and you get ready for the platform. I said, you're not going to do that. It doesn't serve what you're trying to do. But that doesn't mean you're not going to go heavy like a power lifter. You'll have days where you're going to go heavy. It just means like your goal, your focus is not how much you can move for 1 rep. And so you don't need to train for that. You know, you're not going to get value from that as much as you would get value from other types of strength training. So, and that's, I mean, essentially I agree with Profit Fear 100%. But again, I am a power lifter, so my goal is to move as much weight as I can for 1 time and then do it again.
3 times.
Although, I keep thinking, like, am I done? Am I going to do this again? And, like, I wanted to just totally dedicate myself to Muay Thai. I've lost 30 pounds. I'm getting athletic as fuck. I can do some of those twirling jump kicks. I can do, like, the tornado kick again. I'm getting my acrobatics back. I can almost do the splits. I am the only 50-year-old in that gym that can throw an axe kick. And I don't have a lot of lung in me, so going 3 rounds is difficult. So it's hard to call yourself a fighter if you can't go 3 rounds. But as far as like my athleticism, it's like I was in my 30s. And if I just dedicated myself to training strictly Muay Thai for the next 3 or 4 months, I bet you I would look ferocious. And I keep thinking that's what we're going to do. But then I keep steering back to that. I could have had a 1750 total this last competition, and I would have been in the top 10 all time, and all federations, top 10 in my weight class all time for 50 and over. And who does that mean anything to? Nobody, except for me. Like, nobody's going to give a shit. You know what I mean? I mean, that's not true. Like, the when I go to, like, meets here in Vegas and a lot of the ones in the United States, the bigger ones, I'm pretty well known. Like, they know who I am. I wouldn't say celebrity status, but like when we were at Worlds, you know, when I was weighing in, the guy's like, "Oh, you're that dude that makes the videos," you know, like I'm known in the powerlifting community. If that being said, like, I don't know, is it a meaningless record? Why is it so important for me to? I want to go from elite to outlier. I want to get in that outlier territory. You know, where there's elite lifters, you know, good boxers, guys that are professional. You'll never see them on HBO or a pay-per-view, or maybe on an undercard. But they're fucking badass. You know, if you got in the ring with them, they murder you. There's elite lifters. There's guys that are continuously at the top of their weight class, ranked, you know, top 10 every year. But then there's outliers, like Chris Duffins or Ed Cohn or John Hack.
Ashton Ruska.
You know, I'm obviously never going to get to that level, but I'm like really close to being in a very short list of individuals. You know, and I'm obviously at the bottom of it, but I'm on that list. You know, if I got into the mid 1700s in the 220 weight class, or God forbid, at the 198, like if I stayed this weight and got stronger, that's some pretty rare company I'm in. There's less than 5 people that have over 1,900 pounds in history. There's less than 10 people that have over 1,700 pounds. and there's less than 20 people that have over, I want to say 16 ends at like 13 or 14, and then it's 15 and the rest. So like the 1,500-pound totals end around, mid like 14 or 15. So it's like, and we're talking all federations, all time since they started recording numbers. And again, I don't know. I mean, like, to come so close and just hang it up for what? Another injury. I've hurt myself a few times already. So,
In every setback, there's an opportunity. You just have to find the opportunity in the setback. So this
well, I come back stronger each time.
every single time, every single time.
When my back went out, I was just about to squat 600. I was hitting like 585, and I don't think I was even getting depth. I think I was parallel, but I was moving it really well. Back goes out. I have to start over from scratch. My right leg just doesn't fucking work. It atrophies. It's noticeably smaller than the left leg for over a year. And you saw all the stupid like things that we did to get back to squatting. My last squat session that I did pre-competition was 600 pounds for 5 reps at 50 years old. I don't think anybody else has done that ever in my weight class at my age.
And just on context, just 2 years ago, that was his deadlift max. Just 3 years ago, that was his. And he went from that being his deadlift max to that being his squat for 5 reps.
And then I hit 710 on that trap bar for a double.
Yes.
And yeah, you could say, well, the trap bar is 4 inches higher and you can get under it better. And that's all true. The trap bar is easier. Absolutely. But it's still 710 fucking pounds without straps.
Well, we could throw in a trap bar upside down session.
Oh, what I started doing was standing on blocks.
Oh, yes, right. The blocks. That's right. That's right.
So I just put 400, done it. Yeah. But it's still not the same. It's because you can get under it and push straight up. You know what I mean? You can get much more leverage. Like you're squatting almost. Regardless, you are still taxing the shit out of your nervous system because that's still the most weight you can hold. Your whole body is lifting that. You feel it, your every muscle in your body. And then my heaviest deadlift in competition was 670. It was like 669.8, and I think I would have gone for a 700 pounder. It's hard to say. I definitely would if I didn't at least beat the national record, which was I think it was like.
So Julian Bernie is asking, is he talking about a trap bar deadlift? No, we're talking about a competition deadlift, in competition powerlifting deadlift. The day he hit 670 in comp, he's talking about he was.
No, and I had more in me. I had so where I was failing my lift was not in strength; it was in grip. I kept slipping.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, grip was the limiting factor. And you're only as strong as your weakest point, so you could say it doesn't matter if you had the strength, but I absolutely had the muscle strength to lift that and more. My grip kept giving out on me, so my little bitch mittens, I had to get them stronger. I was talking to Tommy H. What's up, Julian? And Mikey, Julian, what's up? I was talking to Tommy H, and he was saying that that's the reason why he always trained in straps.
Or train with
I fucking hate those things.
Yeah.
I hate them.
I was only able to do like 225 with these for a few reps.
Oh. So we've been yamming for too long. We could talk while I lift.
Okay.
So
do you want to test out a sequence? Do you want to test out some type of lift and do sequence it?
Well, okay. So I want to finish doing the Hansen press, but this is a very tenuous lift. I feel like if I make a mistake, it's going to injure me. So I have to be really careful.
I think that we're ahead. The lifter that gets to lift another day is always the better lifter. So
I mean, I'm not feeling any pain or anything. I just need to be careful.
okay,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So like right here is about where I feel safe with the range of motion.
I see. I understand now. Makes sense.
I'm going really slow.
Yeah, I like how you just worked into that. You didn't just go right for it.
Well, it's like once you stretch the arm out, it's like it just moves. This is my absolute favorite shoulder exercise. If I only had to do one shoulder exercise for the rest of my life, this would be it. Because I feel like this works the whole shoulder, except for maybe some of your front delts, which you get the rest of with all your other push exercises. And you know, I did this to both rehab myself, but I thought I got really awesome hypertrophy. People asked me, like, I didn't really film this, but this was the only lift I was doing for like 6 months. They're like, how'd you get your shoulders so big? I'm like, this. Like, seriously, this is it. I wasn't doing overhead presses. I wasn't doing dumbbell presses.
Yeah,
No incline.
it's mandatory in my warm up before I do bench press. I have to do a handsome press with the broomstick.
But I feel like this is a really good hypertrophy movement if you progress it.
Right. And there's videos of people doing 135 plus with this.
I think I could possibly do that, but I
But
wouldn't attempt it until my arms go.
nicely done, bud.
Ooh, man, that's only a 20-pound bar, but it's been so long since I've worked my shoulders out.
And see,
It
like
feels
that's
like it
what
weighs,
was this live
it
stream
feels like it weighs 100 pounds.
to show that you can still get a good workout in if you don't without having to prioritize heavy weight or just strictly reps, but with rep manipulation, set manipulation.
So the next question is what's optimal rep range right now? And it says this is between Prophet Fear and Bob in the left corner, weighing in at 145 pounds.
Truth be told, there is no optimal rep range per se, because for instance, and truth be told, I've simulated some gains off of just one rep. Remember whenever we do one rep max, we just leave it at that. Then we recover, and you would notice that you would go up, albeit a few gains, and not like before, but like you go up a few gains, just doing a one rep max and recovering. But we've done I've had results off of one rep. I've had results off of 100 reps. I've had results off of long sequences where the rest
provided this to failure.
right. So the optimal rep range would be the one that yields
Everyone knows 4 to 8 is a new fad.
that failure or desired failure range. If you do reps in reserve, then 80% or 70% of your fatigue or whatever of your muscle reserves.
I have a tendency to agree with you. I feel like that's the right thing because in this instance, I'm injured or potentially could re-injure. So it's like we're flirting with you don't want to do any more volume than you have to, but you want to do enough where you make progress. So what is our goals? Our goals are to strengthen the tendon, get our range of motion back, recover some of that atrophy. Without
and hopefully
with minimal risk to re-injury, recidivism.
Right.
What do you got in the left corner, weighing in at 175 pounds? Where are you from, Prophet Fear? Tell us a little bit about yourself. He's from Hearts Unknown. He's a prophet, and people fear him. In the right corner, weighing in at a slim 220 pounds. We'll call him the
El Governor.
El Autistico. I live in the deserts of SoCal. You live where Charles Manson used to live? Over there by the south end of the high desert, the Mojave, right on the edge of 29 Palms. I wrestle. What body fat is too high? Bubba Smith. Well, if you're asking an honest question, I would say that most men would be comfortable and healthy between 15 and 20% body fat. You don't have to work too hard, and you don't look like a tub of lard. You can still have ice cream. What do you think? Like in that 15 to 20% range, that's like a reasonable amount of body fat for most people. You'll be able to see your abs and your muscles. You don't have to portion your food out in little fucking, plastic containers. Weigh your rice on a scale like you're some sort of, Colombian crack dealer. What percentage of your macros is your carbs? Like, I don't know, homo. Get away from me. I got some ice cream to eat. Fucking macros. When people say macros, for some reason I think of Robotech.
Macross?
Yeah.
Macross, yeah.
Cyro, dang, he's on to me.
That was a good TV show.
AI already does accounting better than most accountants. Wish the best, Julian Byrne. Hey, you know what? I'm not even going to lie to you, Julian. So when I got started working in the engineering department at Olin, they recruited me because of my knowledge of the chemical process, and I did. I had some college chemistry. Under the condition that I go back to school and finish my chemical engineering degree, which I did. I started going back to CSN and then UNLV. I've never once, ever in the field broke out a pad and paper and wrote down calculations. I can barely remember them. But what I can do is I can take the math I need and ask rich Uncle Google and I'll just write that little math equation and question right up there in that little search bar and hit the enter button, and it gives me a beautiful answer that I could double check, and it's never been wrong. In all the years I've used Google to solve my math problems, I've never once had an incorrect answer. And here's the thing that's sad about it. We have, as a species, we meet the definition of cyborg. We are more efficient but dumber. The technology has made us more capable, but we are dumber as a species. We're less educated. We retain less knowledge. We don't remember anything we learned in university. And if the technology is removed from us, none of us can do our fucking jobs anymore. I mean, I can kind of like break out the TFTs and slide rules and kind of muddle through it. And if you get enough of us together, we could sort of chooch together an approximation of a, like if you're trying to, test like the structural integrity of like, mild steel, it's half-inch thick I-beams, or, with 165 pounds per square foot of concrete on pan deck. What kind of a curve would you need before the weight of it flattens out when they pour the deck? We would calculate shit like that, I don't fucking know. Like, I don't even remember the calculations, but my phone knows. My phone's really smart. Yeah, they were just, I know that's a tangent, but they were talking about AI. But you know what's cool, Julian? So they still need accountants, they still need engineers, they still need all of that, because the average person that knows absolutely nothing about production or process, they don't know what to ask rich Uncle Google. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you walked up to like say a bleach reactor, which takes anhydrous chlorine that's been liquefied and compressed and converts it into gas and mixes it with sodium hydroxide at 50%. And you needed to look at an ORT meter, and you need the reading to get you to 13% industrial sodium hypochlorite, which is bleach. And you're a layperson, and you've got all this information in front of you, and you see all the equipment. How would you ask AI where to even begin? You'd be like, I got a round thing. I bet you AI could figure it out if you give them enough description, right? But point being is that you still need professionals that know what the processes is, and in order for AI to do its job for them. So, if anything, right now I'm a big fan of AI because in commercial construction, especially on the engineering side of things, we get a lot of use out of it. A lot. We're using it a lot, dude.
Now,
But anyway,
have you used Grok AI? Have you used XAI's Grok?
yes, yep.
What are your thoughts on it?
It's it doesn't hate me as much as Google's.
That one, dude, I've had some phenomenal results with Grok. Anyways,
Yeah, it's funny that they taught the AI to be politically leaning. All right, let's get back to it. We're running out of time here. It is 7:09. What else do we want to accomplish? Right now, we're charting a blueprint, right? So we've got curls, we've got presses. I would think a simple bench press, starting with the barbell, maybe a pin press. Like, what would be the optimal pressing position to use the least amount of bicep in the eccentric? Or is there a way to do it?
there isn't, because having the arm out like this, the bicep, because how it stabilizes.
Yeah.
Once you start bringing the arm back, yeah.
Which
I'm-
position do you think I would do?
I think it's huge buyer beware, dude, to do some pressing. Otherwise,
I can always keep the weight on me. Like for triceps, you really don't even need to be, you can isolate them with, like a guillotine press.
All right.
Prophet Fear, are you still in the chat, buddy?
Yeah, he's here. He says if you do a chest press, your triceps will stretch while the biceps slack. If you do a chest press.
Dude, check it out. Look what I got. I got a fucking Smith machine. I need someone to help me put it together. I got a fucking Smith machine, my man. Well, so far this is no worse than curl. It's 20 pounds, so it's 10 pounds on each arm, right?
Right.
But how would I get anything out of it for the chest?
Well,
it would have to be an extended range of motion, right?
Well, I think using the camber barbell, but doing some of the partials, static holds, tempo, moving around.
So what you're saying is like I could push it off the chest to where the eccentric I can almost drop it.
Right.
All this for science. And for anybody wondering, I'm week 6 out of surgery. And I would say I'm about 2 weeks ahead of the average person that's had this surgery. Where, according to the schedule that the physical therapist has, for a person that's 6 weeks out of bicep reattachment surgery, we're at isometrics. no resistance training on the bicep.
You know, it's funny is what's peculiar is the bicep is looking pretty pumped there, dude. The bicep looks pretty activated here. Your left
Well,
bicep.
so I'm using I'm cheating. I'm using occlusion training. Now this isn't that tight. It's a little snug, but it's not cutting off the circulation. But you remember when I lost the use of my leg
Huh?
and it hurt to even get under the bar. So even though I could press, I couldn't support myself.
Right.
So I used occlusion training for those however many weeks, and I got pretty good results from it. Now, the only thing I don't know is that anecdotal? Is it like I don't have any way to prove that it worked, but it seemed like it did.
I see. Well, you'd have to recreate the same ideal conditions, which are not ideal, and test it over. But if ever there's someone that's training and they're in a similar predicament, we now know a potential avenue to take.
Hey, I need like 5 of you fuckers to subscribe to my channel so I can get over 8,000. Damn it!
How close are you? Oh, you're already over 7?
I'm 7,900 and I don't know. Let me get a count here. I keep doing that thing where I'm like, oh, subscribe and like my videos.
I remember when you're approaching 7, so that's a pretty good milestone. You're approaching 10.
Dude, I was killing it until I blew my arm out, and then I started doing like Warhammer videos and fucking playing drums in a way that it probably lost subscribers. Although, dude, so I've been banging on pie tins for years, and I'd be the first to tell you I suck. Like, I think for a guy that's 100% home taught, I could play along to music because that's all I've ever done my whole life is I learn a song and bang along with it. I didn't have any technical skills. I didn't know how to read music. My daughter she's a percussionist in school. Well, she came home with lessons and I started doing them. And I learned about rudiments, paradiddles, double paradiddles, double beats, single roll. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's like 67 rudiments, which are patterns that you can do to express yourself on the drum kit. Instead of like single banging with a song, you're literally playing a pattern that is the song. It's like a mathematic. It turns it from like, I don't know how to describe it. It's more like math than drumming.
Yeah.
And now that I'm learning those, dude, my fucking skills are like exploding. It's all pattern recognition, and I'm not ready to do a video on it yet because I still keep making mistakes. But since the last video I posted, I've been practicing rudiments of paradiddles nonstop, and like my drumming sounds like 20 times better. It's indescribable how much better I sound. Like I sound like somebody that actually was taught to play the drums as opposed to some jackass that like just has a bunch of pie tins in his garage. So anyway, I thought of but since I started making those videos, my viewers have tanked, my subscribers have tanked. I've really hit a wall. Like I've really had to fight for this last 100 subscribers, whereas before I was getting over 100 a live stream.
Right.
And I don't know. YouTube said something about what's killing the algorithm, or what hurt my channel the most, is not what I'm live streaming, but the other videos that I make, like the rants and some, the other ones, because those don't get any views. Some of them did okay. They got like 1,000. I got one that had 17,000 over time. But generally speaking, when I make a rant video, it gets like a couple hundred views.
All right.
So YouTube says that confuses the algorithm because if you go from a 20,000 view live stream to a 130 view video that you make because you like the content, YouTube doesn't know how to promote your channel.
That makes sense.
So I fucked myself over. which is the reason why I stopped doing all those other videos. And I was just going to get back to live streaming, and my numbers were starting to come back up again. But then I did those last 2 drumming videos. I thought, I didn't know what else to do. I just wanted to make a video. And I think I lost subscribers.
Yeah.
People are like, oh my God, block, unlike, holy shit. I was offensive to their hearing, apparently. And if I would have waited just 4 days and posted what I played today earlier, I videoed it, and I was killing it, man. Like, I actually sound like a drummer. I can't wait to. I don't really want to make a video though, because I don't want to do another video where I screw myself out of the algorithm. Like, so this video right here, I don't think we're doing that good compared to my normal live streams. But this is a different format. This is a split screen. So I don't know how YouTube promotes this.
Right.
But I don't really care either. Because I think if I start focusing on collaborating with other people doing this format, this will start to trend upwards, provided I stick to what YouTube seems to want me to do. Basically, what YouTube said is focus on what's working and leave the rest out of it. If you want to do the other stuff, make another channel.
That makes
And
sense.
it might even make sense for me to start a new channel just for live streaming. But that's the only reason I haven't done any of that is because so far it's all been me, all the video editing, all the fucking. And I know, like, Prophet Fear and you guys, I know you guys do all your own shit too, but like, I don't have fucking time for this stuff, The hour it takes to chop a video down and edit it and equalize the sound and add special effects and cut out all the ums and ahs when I'm talking, Like, I don't know. That's half my evening. And if I had somebody that was willing to edit for me, but anyway, I mean, that stuff I think we're moving in that direction.
Yeah.
I also wanted to. Oh, go ahead.
That's a big cup.
Huh?
That's a big cup.
Hell yeah, 40 ounces, baby.
40 ounces. Nice. Nice.
What's up, sweetheart?
I have the best news of our lives. We have ants in the kitchen.
You brought the parrot back to life using necromancy.
Unfortunately not. But there's ants in the kitchen.
Nice. What do you want me to do about it?
I don't know, I just wanted to tell you.
You just informing me?
Yep, just informing you.
Are you about to go on an ant genocide?
What is that?
And like, oh man, I won't tell that joke.
We're gonna do a cambered bench press.
Huh?
Are you gonna do a cambered bench press?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Just so that the people know what's gonna happen next.
I'm going to be very careful as I lower this bar. So some jackass, who was it? Who's that fucking idiot? Is Trips or something?
Oh, Big Daddy Trips.
Yeah, he came on my channel. He goes like, "You're a softie." I go, "Yeah, kind of am." Yeah, and he's like, "Yeah." He goes away and he comes back and he's like, "You're not hard." I think I was doing like Muay Thai training. And I'm like, "No, I don't think I'm hard."
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think I don't. Yeah, why would you want to be? And he's like, "Yeah," and he has no comeback. And then the last time he goes, "That's a 35-pound bar." And I was like, "What?" We weighed it. Remember we put it on the scale? And it was like 44.8 or something.
Right.
But interestingly enough, that's a cap barbell, right?
Right.
it on Amazon, it's listed as a 35-pound barbell. I looked it up.
Right, I did see that too, and it's not.
But remember that day I put it on the scale? We both put it on the scale and looked at it.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, almost every one of my barbells was over 45 pounds, and the Titan Power Bar weighs 47.
Yeah, I remember you told me that.
The only one that was accurate, like within 0.25 of a kilogram, was the Texas deadlift bar.
Okay. Super careful, super slow.
Now I'm going to lower the. Oh, this brings back some memories. All right, so this is a pretty good range of motion, right?
Yes, to start with. Yeah, there's no need to
You were
start.
saying if I could just literally kind of come up here and hold it and then just drop it. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Oh, you know what?
How does that feel though? Do you feel a stretch? Do you feel a deep stretch?
Not yet. Because of where the safeties are? So all that does just brings it up to the safety a little bit more. And my neck
Body
is
Beatdowns here. Hi,
My neck's
hi Body
bigger,
Beatdown.
right?
Body Beatdown says, good evening, Gen X Power. Hope you're doing good.
what's up?
Body Beatdown says, hi.
Oh hey, what's up, brother? How you doing? I was excited to make that drum video short because I was hoping you specifically would see that. Dude, I'm like a 2-year-old. Like I'm 50 years old, and I just learned about fucking rudiments on the drum set from a 9-year-old in band class. And she literally has a little plastic pad, and she's like, "Digga, digga, 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 digga." I was like, "What's this?" "That's notes, Daddy." I'm like, wow, you can read these? I'll teach you. Okay. And so she has been. I've been learning how to play drums again from a 9-year-old. So my head is actually behind the rack. So if this had any weight on it, it literally couldn't pin me. So again, we're just going to come up a couple inches.
Oh, there we go.
Like it's, I mean, my tricep straight's there. I could push. I guarantee you I could push 3 plates right now. But what I don't know is what would happen on the eccentric.
Right.
You know, would that blow my arm out? I mean, obviously I'm not going to try it. But I haven't done anything to work on the chest since I got the surgery. And like even this, I've been doing, well, that's not true. I've been doing isometrics. Like even just holding this.
Right.
My triceps are holding the weight.
Right. How does that feel?
I love it.
Nice. Body Beatdown says, gotta start somewhere. Keep at it. Laugh out loud.
Like, yeah. Like this is something at least, you know?
Absolutely.
And I love the stretch. That's the best part, is that living in this stretch position. Because this is where most people get it wrong. They think they have to do inclines for upper chest or declines for lower. And it's like, no, stretch the fucking pectorals out.
You get the whole pack. Body Beatdown says, please take things slow, Charles. It will happen soon enough. Evening, Chris. Oh, he's saying evening to Mrs. Jenner.
Yeah, so no, I absolutely appreciate the concern. And you're 100% right. So really what Bob and I are doing is kind of going off of what the prescribed physical therapy movements are. How can we reasonably expound on those using resistance training? For example, you know, they want me to do isometric uh, presses with a tricep. They literally had me set my arm on a table and press as hard as I could. And when I asked the doctor, I said, well, what's the resistance limit? And he looked at me like, what are you talking about? And I go, well, okay, I can obviously bench somewhere between 300 and 400 pounds. I can push really hard with my arm. That old dude sitting across from me had a hard time sitting in his chair. You know, we're not the same. So you got him doing isometric holds, and is it rate of perceived exertion? Is it percentage of what you're able to do? Is there like a limit as to how much weight the physical tendon can take before it separates? You know, what's your metrics? What are you going by to determine how much force I can apply to this movement? And he's just like, uh, just push until you're tired and do it again. So logically, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I'm pushing this table hard enough to almost break it. It's one of those folding tables.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I bench press or, you know, at least do like some sort of chest movement? Answer: I'm not allowed to put any resistance on the bicep yet. It's not cleared for that. So I'm not allowed, the bicep can't do any lifting. It needs to be static. Okay. Is there a way to train the chest while removing the bicep, or as much as reasonably possible, or within the safety parameters of what I can do at this stage of my recovery, which is about, you saw 5 pounds, probably could go a little bit heavier, but we're not going to.
Right.
45-pound barbell doesn't seem like it's a problem. So if you split 45 in half, you know, at 22.3, that's the bags of groceries that I'm picking up when I'm walking into the house. So that seems reasonable. And then, of course, being really careful to kind of work through the range of motion to see if there's any danger areas where it is an issue. And so, I mean, that's basically that's what we're doing. We're experimenting, but we're trying to do it in a way that's extremely cognizant of the injury, because I don't want to risk, you know, re-injuring. I don't want to go back to the doctor. I see him next week for a progress update. So if I go to him with like a damaged arm, he's going to be.
I think he's gonna see your next progress update and be like remarkable progress.
Oh well, he did. So the first time I saw him, what was it, 4 weeks after? He was shocked, and he, of course, he accredited to his skills as a surgeon, and I would not argue that he's not a great surgeon, but I was like, you know, it doesn't have anything to do with the fact that like 99.9% of your clients are like on mobility scooters,
Right.
and they haven't seen their dick in 20 years. You know, it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't get any credit. Oh, and the other thing is when I talked to the doctors and I told them that we were taking the peptides, the BPC 157 and TB 500,
Yeah.
every single one of them at the VA acted like they had never heard of what we were talking about. And then when I talked to the nurses, the guys on the floor, most of whom train, a lot of them are veterans. Every single one of them that I talked to said that they used it when they were injured, and I guess they're trying to get medical trials on them so that they can become mainstream medicine, but I don't know what the um, I don't know what the roadblock is for that. I don't know why. Like I don't know. I don't know why they're not prescribed for injuries. And is it pseudoscience? Is it
It's like it took a while for CBD to become legal and hemp, and eventually, what else?
Well, the problem is if you don't have human studies, is it the placebo effect? Am I healing like I would naturally, but I'm attributing it to the peptides, thinking that did all? Oh, it looks like we lost there for a second.
We're here.
You know what I mean? I would like to see some kind of.
Looks like we lost you. Okay, we're back.
Oh, yeah, I can see you.
We're back.
Okay, yeah. My only issue with peptides is it's hard to find like real studies.
Right.
Everything I read is anecdotal. And that's a lot of fitness stuff. Like even that one testosterone study where they had three groups. They had a group that did progressive overload and took testosterone. They had a group that only took testosterone, and they had a group that was on a placebo. And the group that took testosterone and did not train still put on muscle mass. So they were saying that proves that you can gain muscle by taking steroids. And while I wouldn't disagree with that to a point, when we looked at the study, Christina and I, like at the time she was taking biology at UNLV, and we were looking at we actually read the whole thing, and the study breakdown was a very small sampling of mostly untrained athletes. And like the first thing that the abstract stated was it's very difficult to find people who train regularly because most people will not take time, like they care too much about their physique and their routine to join a study that's going to screw them up, especially or people that are natural. They don't want to take steroids. Like there's a whole bunch of reasons why it was really hard to get a good sample of actual athletes. So you had a bunch of people who'd never trained before. So obviously the group that trained and went on test had phenomenal results, but all of them were untrained athletes. So you're going to get newbie gains across the board. And then of course the placebo group kind of showed results straight down the middle. And none of them had enough separation to really merit any kind of like if you're looking at the bell curve, all of them are right in the middle, with minor separation, like a deflection of 30 degrees. You had nobody that was an outlier at all in either direction. And the sampling size was all untrained athletes. So I guess I'm going off on a tangent here, but the point is like all of these scientific reviews that people cite to get their information from are all flawed bullshit studies with bad sample groups, horrific sizes, terrible control, or they're paid for by the companies that are selling the products. And it's like you kind of have to look at the study. You have to look at who published it. You have to look at who reviewed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why did we even bring that up? What were we talking about? Why I even brought that up?
body beat down said take it easy. And that
Oh,
period,
yeah. When I was talking to my doctor about different things as to what I could or can't do, I
right?
was surprised to find that him and the clinicians over at the VA go by a schedule that's printed, and it has what I'm supposed to do week to week, and it's for every single patient, every age group. If you could be 4, you could be 40, and they're like, "You're supposed to do this at 6 weeks," and I'm like, "Okay, is it? Am I being imprudent by pushing myself a little bit, or am I holding myself back?"
Um, you know, what becomes a little bit and becomes just too much is a different story. Like obviously you want to put your effort into something. Like you said, most of the people there that get
Yeah,
his surgeries are over the hill, are on scooters, assisted living.
yeah.
They're not doing the splits or near the splits. They're not sweeping a competition in powerlifting. They're they're not kicking someone's butt in Muay Thai or hitting a bag or whatever.
Uh, you falling asleep on me, buddy?
No.
Yeah.
I'm hungry though.
I think I'm gonna call it here in a little bit, but I did want to do a little bit of my routine here, and it'd be kind of cool because it's nice to have somebody that I could talk to while I'm stretching because I have no idea what the comment section is saying. But I think we got a lot up for one day.
Yeah.
I would like to do another one with you, maybe next week,
Yeah.
where we explore pulling exercises.
Now, how does your bicep feel before coming into this and now after this?
Exactly the same. I don't think I strained it that much. I
Ah,
think I
God.
gave it a good, easy, slow workout. Like I could tell I trained it, but I don't feel like I punished it. It's funny. So this is what it feels like. How do I describe this? The muscle belly feels like it wants to lift, but the connection feels tender. It feels fragile. So I feel like if I contracted this as hard as I could, I would just rip that right out of my arm
I bet you would.
because it hasn't been long enough to lose that strength.
Yeah.
And it's like I've got a V8 in a Honda Civic.
Motor mounts with Honda Civic motor mounts, a V8 engine with Honda Civic motor mounts. Now, how does it feel when you massage the bicep? When you do something like this, when you place your thumb along like the middle, like this, like
Yeah,
that.
like so.
Yeah. How does that feel against the middle of the bicep?
Good.
What
It
about
feels like it
the
needs to be
very middle of
stretched
the
out. It's
bicep?
like a
So
it's
you're
like
going like this. What about the very middle of the bicep when you push the very middle? No, so you're going like this. What about going like that?
like this.
Yeah, but the center of the bicep, a
Oh,
little bit right there. Yeah.
like
What
that.
do you feel right there? Does it feel stiff? Does it feel pain? Does it feel relief when you push?
No pain. What it feels like is they got this putty, right? And they gave me this for my grip. I'm supposed to squeeze this. My bicep feels like it's this putty, and it like it needs to be stretched out. It needs to be like
Ah,
pulled out, like it's a ball. It doesn't hurt, but
I would say try and hit it with like the foam roller or try and massage it. But
yeah,
you're gonna want to hit it. You're gonna want to hit it like from the very middle, and then also it helps if you like bring your arm and then do that stretch that I showed you like that, and then just
yes.
keep working the area.
So just so you know, I just started resistance training. I have not even flexed this muscle since surgery.
Oh
Like,
wow!
like even just doing this, like bow, like I've got this flexed right now, like pretty tight. I have not done that because I'm scared shitless of it.
Yeah, I can
And
imagine.
my physical therapist told me, use common sense. Like you almost can't help but flex because you naturally go to grab things. You're just programmed to do it. And there's been a couple of times where like somebody drops something and I'll go to reach for it, or I was lifting something and I knew I was going to do it with my right hand, but you just kind of like, oh, you accidentally tip it. So there, a couple of times, a handful of times, I have put resistance on the muscle that was unexpected and not, I wasn't prepared for it. And two of those times, it was super uncomfortable and I just let go. Like I felt like I could have injured myself really easily. But the other two times, I just held it and I'm like, oh, okay, I got this. Like it's not that big of a deal. But I haven't tried to flex it myself. Like I haven't done one of these. Um, I feel like if I did, I'm not mentally ready to take that risk.
Right. Totally understandable. Totally
And
understandable.
and the doctor said I'm ahead of where I should be. By about 2 weeks, he said.
Yeah, so you have a lot of swelling there.
Say again.
Yeah, you have some swelling in that area.
I don't think it's swelling. I think the muscles balled up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's not inflammation. Um, it's like Play-Doh that needs to be stretched out.
I understand, and just slowly but surely, we're just getting it there.
Yeah. So like I'm gonna start training Muay Thai again. I'm not gonna do sparring yet, but I am gonna do like the technique days.
Now, what about back work? Are you gonna do back work?
Well, yeah. So I thought that could be our next session when we get online. We could explore doing like deadlifts and stuff. I thought maybe for today that was enough. I didn't want to like go crazy with it.
Yeah, totally. And then like the next session, if it's next week or something, means even more recovery. So you'll be further along.
Oh, and if I can get to a point where I can do push-ups using the parallel bars, um, that opens up a whole like we're back in business.
Especially with weighted vests.
Anything, because I can get really good range of motion with those.
Oh yeah.
And now, see, here's the silver lining of me losing all that weight. So I went from 230 pounds to 200, and like I no longer am wearing knee braces, and I got good flexion in my ankles. But another thing I couldn't do before is I could not sit on my ankles. Like you know what I mean? Like I couldn't do it.
Nice. I'm glad I see all this progress. Like in every setback, there's an opportunity. Just
Yeah,
like
my
you said,
flexibility just like exploded.
squat was going so phenomenal. It was just the deadlift that really just wasn't going as phenomenal as squat in the training. So not everything was going completely bad just because one mishap or one thing went wrong.
And you know
A
what?
lot,
I
a lot,
still,
a lot of
still
people
have the squat. Like I haven't lost the squat.
a lot of people think, oh, this guy had a mishap. Everything he's doing must be wrong. That's not true.
Well, and it's funny. I don't know if Smart Gamer's still in watching. But
Oh, he just
one thing I talked to him about was, especially when we train alone, and we don't like when we were training together at a gym, we were always there to go, "Hey, brother," we corrected each other. And there was people that would correct me in the chat, but I would often miss the context. And also so many people troll that when somebody was genuinely offering me criticism or they saw something that was dangerous, I would kind of read it and be like, piss off, dude. You probably can't pick up your body weight. That's what I was thinking. But there was one guy, he was really telling me, hey, like you're bending your arm, brother. And the way he was wording it, I thought he was trying to harass me. And you know, I don't care. Like I just have fun with those.
Right.
That's why I keep thinking, man, if I would have listened to that guy and corrected that issue, but it's like you can't really live in that what if, you know?
Well, and also like I mean that's a bit of a ticking time bomb. Like this is a lot more future proof. Just let's bulletproof the joint. Let's bulletproof the tendon. Let's get the bicep bulletproof. Like this is, and we know what bulletproofing exercises are. We know what they look like. They're all basically some type of weighted stretch from a deep stretch. I mean, phenomenal stretch, dude. That looks like a lot of relief.
Huh?
That looks like a lot of relief.
Oh yes, but this is also like this will really open your hips up. And you could do these this is one stretch you can kind of do dynamically.
Right. So you put a 45 on your back. Oh, if you get the
Yeah.
weight vest, you could you can strap a 45 on your back.
Oh, I found that weight vest too.
Yeah.
This is we do want to try to get upright. That's what is the parallel bar?
The parallel bars are behind you to the left or to the right.
So because I pulled my hamstring, so I couldn't get in the full stretch position. Um, I do kind of look into alternatives for being able to kick high. You want to be able to like lean yourself in the head with your knees. And there's a little bean bag there. This is this little bag's right at head height. And you in boot camp, did you guys have pull-up bars by the bathrooms?
No, we did not.
So in Marine Corps boot camp, we had pull-up bars by the bathrooms, and you weren't allowed to use the bathroom without doing pull-ups. So I kind of do the same thing with this thing. If I walk out to the garage for anything, I just have to bam, you know,
Oh,
I have to like do some kind of, you know, it's just like it's you know, it's right at head height. Just a little coordination thing. This is a slip bag for boxing that I repurposed. And it's like, you know, just basic coordination with the feet. Bam, bam.
yeah.
Whoa. Oh, you know,
Mhm.
it's challenging. It just keeps that, you know, that limberness. So I don't lose that. I got the motion for my axe kick is up and then slap down. So it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Right across the chops. It always works once. So I'm not going to do a ton of stretching.
That's crazy. Just near full splits, just right there. Just boom. Right into it.
And what's awesome is I got my arm back. Five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, it's still a little tender.
The hamstring or the bicep? What's a little tender? The hamstring or the bicep?
Say again?
What's tender? The hamstring or the bicep?
Hamstring.
Oh, the hamstring? Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't go into a full split.
I understand.
So like right now, I'm almost at a full split.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And what I'll do is I roll. So I roll this way. because this is more useful to be able to roll with your legs open like this. So I'm not going that way as much. Because you gotta look at like, what are you doing when you're kicking? That's why I do that pillow. That one drill, I put it on YouTube, so like anybody can do this drill. If you want to kick higher. So whatever leg you're trying to get higher, you're gonna first you're gonna stretch. Get a nice
Yeah.
lean.
Oh wow. Yeah.
You want to turn your foot with the kick, and then you want to lean into it and really open this up. You can even bring this out a little if you want. And then from here, this is where you make your money. You want to try to raise your leg up as high as you can. And each time you do that, you get a little bit higher. And then you finish the rotation with a dip. Stretch this out, really sink into it, and then rotate back. So it'll look like this. Stretch, 1, 2, 3. Twist. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Dip. And back. And you just do that like 10 times. You know, the beauty of this is it also helps with coordination. Because doing it unassisted actually takes a lot of balance.
Yeah.
And this one's still a little tender, so I'm gonna go easy.
Makes sense.
2, 3. I'm really opening this up. You can lean into it. You can stand straight up. You can get over. You know, you can move back and forth.
Yeah.
And back. 1, 2, 2, 3. Dip. And you know, it's rinse and repeat. And then the other drill I've been doing a lot of lately are these. Like bring your knee up as high as you can, and your head's being pulled to the ceiling, and then you gotta twist. And you,
I see.
you know, I'm obviously better on one side than the other. Most people will be. But this is to work on rotation. You just want to open those hips up. Try to get that knee as high as you can. And then finally, the last drill. Simply bring your knee up to your chest as high as you can. You have this, do it. Pull your knee up as high as you can. You want to be upright. And you want to really pull up towards the ceiling with your foot turned in the direction it's going to kick. You don't want it down here. You want it up here. You want to really open it up as much as you can. And then follow
Can you
this.
do a stretch where you have your leg up in the air almost over your head, almost to your head?
Say again?
Can you do that yoga stretch where you have your leg up in the air and your arm wrapped around it almost to your head?
Yeah. So I think that's where I pulled my hamstring. Remember that one day I was doing that? Where I grabbed it?
Ah.
I haven't been able to do it with this hand because of the arm. But you know, I was pulling it out. Yeah.
Jeez, you almost got it.
I lost a little flexibility.
Careful. It's looking good though.
But this side I won't do. I'm not going to do that side.
Right, because that one's already tweaked over or impinged.
And the stretching is like I don't even care if I kick the bag. I wanted to do the stretching. Like I'm getting like nimble on my feet.
You
Like,
know,
remember, I could not jump into kicks before, and now I'm like, it's like.
in a couple of days, I get my e-bike conversion kit, and I'm gonna convert my mountain bike into an e-bike. So if I need any help with installation, I'll send you pictures in a text of what I need help with.
Okay.
I'm
So
excited.
like obviously those were very poorly formed kicks, but I was kind of having fun with jumping.
Oh yeah,
I'd obviously throw, you know, but if I'm having fun, I might do something like,
Mhm. Yeah,
I couldn't do that a few months ago. How did that look?
that looked pretty good, dude. Yeah, I can see it come together if you were to execute it quick and slick.
Fucking 50.
50, dude. 5-0.
Right?
Yeah.
Dude, I haven't been able to do that since I was 20 years old. Remember those videos where I was doing that kick, but I couldn't aim them?
Right.
And I was like, I would kick, but then I was like throwing myself. I just did it standing. Oh, boys, I mean, I'm getting light, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think 198 will be a good.
Still gotta work on my footwork. No, I'm so excited, dude. I'm like, people don't understand.
Oh yeah, you got your groove back.
They don't understand. They're like, yeah, you suck. Yeah.
I mean, you've had some serious hard knocks. You know, like you said, you're paralyzed for like you weren't able to walk for a while. You know, you had the
Oh,
spine.
Batman, what's up? Sorry, yeah, I wasn't reading the chat. So, Bagman, I was just talking about like I've lost like 30 pounds, and like obviously I still have a lot of work to do, but like I'm starting to get my athletic ability back, and I'm having so much fun with it. I'll be able to like my arms getting good enough where I can throw the gloves on and start training technique at the gym. Like I still can't throw punches. Like I wouldn't risk it, but I could stand there with you and block. I could be a punching bag. And dude, my kicks are getting seriously strong. Like
And your kicks
Huh?
your kicks are looking fluid. Your kicks are looking very fluid, very natural.
And my switch is looking good.
Your switches together right now. Right now, you're not going at speed for it to be efficient. But
Yeah.
if you were to execute it at the speed, I imagine it would be efficient at full speed. Yeah.
Yeah, it needs a little work, but it's getting better.
Like the mental barriers, the hesitation mentally is no longer quite there like it was before.
Especially like the like normal like sparring speeds. Yeah. Oh man, Bobby, I had a blast.
Dude, I had a blast too. I think this was a success, dude.
I was so depressed, man. I was like, well, I talked to you earlier. I told you what I was having
Right.
issues with. I was like, I got to do something. The bag man, sorry, brother. I wasn't paying attention to the chat. What did I miss?
He was asking about a guy called Rich something.
I don't recall.
Rich guy.
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't. It's not ringing a bell. I
Well,
can
he
check. Here, let me look.
missed him. He says he
Let
gets
me
blocked.
look. So if I go to, wait a minute, hold on here. Chat. I need to go to create a poll. Where is moderation? Let me see here. Keyboard Explorer, quick links, real time comments. Where the hell is chat moderation? I'm not seeing it.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, I can check. I guess I don't. If he did get banned, I mean, I don't like. What's the issue? Rich guy, rich guy. I don't. How the hell do I look? Notifications. So Mr. Chavez 16 replied on one of my videos. It's okay. You have us. You should keep going. Gen X, let's see. What the fuck is this shit? So there's a short here for Mr. Chavez 16. I love you guys, but I quit YouTube because I only have 11 subscribers. Now, I don't remember commenting on this video, but apparently 2 months ago I said, it's okay. You have us. You should keep going. And then there's a bunch of hearts after my thing with a little heart emoji, which, as you know me, I would be dead before I commented that. Like, I don't put emojis in my chat. And then it continues with me responding again with a bunch of hearts. And then Mr. Chavez 16 says, hey, man, so I saw your YouTube channel and I think you have kids. Well, I could tell you where you and your kids can meet me if you want. I mean, I will tell you where I live so your kids can meet me.
Okay.
I am going to screenshot that because if this guy actually knew me, he knew that if I knew where he lived, I would go over there and I would batter him unrecognizable. Screen snip. But I don't think I commented that because my username's not Gen X Power, is it? Let's see, new.
I'm not too sure.
All right, let me save that. Oh, God damn it. Snipping tool, where to go? I fucking hate these apps.
Christina says yes, Gen X power.
Well, I can assure you I have never, ever commented with emojis. And certainly not ones with two little hands that make hearts. save. How to save? I'm going to call it pedo.png.
Right.
And then I'm going to comment. Okay, so I have no idea who commented under my name. My name, and perhaps my daughter or my son, because if you knew me, you would know that I have never ever used an emoji in a response. I get annoyed when people fail to use declarative sentences, but
Um,
that but these are the times we live in.
Christina asked, "What was this on?" It was on YouTube, right?
Yeah,
It was on YouTube. This is Gen X.
I would love for you to send me your location. I think. What should I put?
Oh, I don't even know. I
It
mean, like, I
would
can't believe what's happening.
it would make my rather disappointing year if I am understanding if I'm understanding the context correctly.
Right?
Yeah, send me your address so my kids can meet you. So I screenshotted it. I don't really know if that crosses the line or not, but there's certain things like I don't consider myself an aggressive man. I don't try to intimidate people. I don't walk around all like puffed up and tough. I have a calm, pleasant, assertive demeanor, always smiling. How are you doing? Pardon me, sir. You fucking talk about touching my kids. I got a K-bar that I could shave with, and I will fucking skin you alive very slowly. You know,
Right.
there's there's like there's a line you cross that goes from harmless, humble, mild-mannered man and psychopathic cannibal.
Yeah.
don't fuck, don't fuck with my kids. But as you well know, Bob, Christina's the one they got to worry about.
Oh yeah.
You want to call it a night, brother?
Oh yeah. I'm ready to get a little bite to eat.
I bet you $20 I still didn't get 8,000 subscribers out of this, but you know what? I had a good time and I needed
I had a
this.
blast. We were at 33 likes.
So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna schedule. Like I'm gonna try to. You want to shoot for once a week? You and me, try to do a regular thing. And if you can't do it, I'll try to get somebody else to fill in. We'll start doing this once a week to see if we can get the algorithm up a little.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, because I think with consistency, usually YouTube starts boosting things a little bit. So,
And then
hell yeah, man.
next time I'll join in my garage with my weight set and I'll do something.
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
All right. If anybody's still in the chat, Tax Insurance and Associates.
Okay. Y'all have a good night.
Monkey Gamer. All right, guys.
Bye. Have a good night, everyone.
Okay, so Mr. Chavez 16. I'm just. I hope we're all playing, right? I think we're joking around. I love you guys. I'll see you on the battlefield.